Hi, and welcome back to the North Lodge Cottage Garden, where it's mid-May. My inbox is already filling up. 6 messages today alone with people receiving new season David Austin roses. 6 plants, all looking really sick and tired, and this is not David Austin's fault. This is down to a handling fault at your end. I have made videos on this subject before, and you really have to understand the nursery process that the plants are going through before they get to you. Now, for this little video, I've got 2 plants to my right. So if you excuse me, I'm just going to grab one of those for you now. This is Tottering By Gently, a new addition for me last year, and ashamedly I am a terrible plant hoarder. I've got plants everywhere that I haven't yet planted. This one is going to be planted this coming weekend, and as you can see, a beautiful plant. I bought this last July directly from David Austin, from their nursery and their show garden when we went to visit last year. Now, the reason why I'm rambling on about this particular plant is it's been in its pot now for far too long. Very well established. I pruned this one, I winter pruned this during the winter, and it's been in the garden, and I've been looking after it and feeding it weekly because it's obviously contained in this pot. And what I'm going to do for you now is I'm just going to turn this one out for you so you can see it properly. Turn the plant upside down, hands either side of it, and just knock the pot off of it, block going everywhere. Right, as I take that pot off, you can see that has a beautiful firm root ball. This plant is well past and very much ready to go in the ground. I'm going to tease that root ball apart at the weekend when I put this in the ground. You can see this is held together absolutely beautifully. What you don't want to be doing is knocking these out of the pots too soon. If you're receiving David Austin stock over the next couple of weeks and it is all new and like this, looking beautiful and lush, recently been potted, please, my advice to you is take that plant and put that in a quiet part of the garden, out of the way, by the shed and on the vegetable patch, wherever it is, by the back door, whatever. A nice quiet spot where it can just acclimatise to where it is, and leave it for up to a month, 4 weeks, 28 days. Leave it alone unless you see really good root growth coming out the bottom. Now, can you see here, this, I've got roots coming from the bottom of here. This is actually, who is this? This is Mill on the Floss. New to this garden this year. This was a bare root rose I bought during the bare root season. I think this was delivered in November or December. Because I wasn't ready to plant this in the new border that Mill on the Floss is going on to, and several other ones I've got backed up behind me, because I wasn't ready to plant this, I actually planted this into a 10-litre pot. It's been in here for now, I don't know, maybe 12 weeks, and as you can see from the bottom of the pot now, beautiful white root growth coming through the bottom. I'm still going to proceed with this one with very much caution and leave this to really establish itself before I knock it out of this pot. If you damage the root structure at this stage, when you've got thousands of tiny white hairs coming through and lots of lovely lush growth on the top, you really are going to put your plant into utter shock. The root growth and the above growth, the shoots, are symbiotic. The two are hand in hand. One can't have the other. So basically, if you prune your rose, inevitably the root growth dies back, and if you lose your top growth, the root grows back. If you damage the root system, tipping this out of the pot, everything will go into shock. It simply will not be able to sustain all of this growth up top, and you may actually kill it. So please, if you're receiving new season potted rootstock over the next couple of weeks, this is a tip from me. This is not coming up direct from David Austin. This is coming from a horticulturalist with nearly 25 years experience behind them. Take those plants and pop those into a quiet part of the garden and just keep them for a month or so until you see lots of lovely root growth coming out the bottom. Now, I know it is so exciting, and I know you just want to get on, you want to put it in its pot, or you want to put it in the ground, and you want everything to look lovely. But please do exercise some caution, and if the compost does fall away from that rose, you really want to be giving it some serious care. You want to be looking after it. If you can, cover it with a little bit of fleece to keep the sun off of it. Make sure you're watering it every single day religiously. Misting it with a water bottle like you would a house plant will also help and stop the transpiration in it losing water so quickly, but it's going to need an awful lot of care if that root ball falls away. Anyway, if you have any queries, if you have any questions, you know how to get hold of me. Please feel free to like, follow and share, both on Instagram and on YouTube.